D2D has now said, we like the rich, but we hate the poor, just like a really good capitalist company.
Draft to digital. So what's the big thing they've done? What was their big idea?
So let's charge authors that aren't making $100 some money. So you make $20, you're paying Draft to Digital for you're paying them your profit essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And then
$12 a year.
Right. Yeah. $12 a year, which to some doesn't sound like a lot, but to a lot of struggling indie authors, it is, especially if you're trying to be wide, if you're trying to break away from Amazon. And we all know last year, a lot of authors were trying to break away from Amazon. That was a huge shift last year.
Yeah.
But now, if you have these other companies, now they're driving you back to Amazon. I'm sure KDP got flooded last week. I'm sure it was a Noah's Ark level flood happening because so many people were leaving Draft to Digital. And I even emailed them and they're like, well, are you sure you want to leave? Because if you do, if you restart it, you're going to have to pay us $20. That's almost exactly what their email said. And I said, you have to be kidding. Your PR is like, what are you even doing right now? You have these tons of emails coming in. People are freaking out. And your response is, if you leave, you're just going to have to pay us more money.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me play devil's advocate because I think I know what's happening. Draft to Digital is not Amazon. Amazon, you can literally, one of the things we do in my software world is there are a few places you can go to buy servers to store things. DigitalOcean is a big one. That's the massive server farm where websites live, data lives, storage, anything in the cloud exists in a couple different places. One of the biggest places is Amazon. Amazon has the most storage out of anywhere. So if anyone can just absorb millions and millions of people uploading things every single day without charging people for it, it's Amazon. Draft to Digital, on the other hand, they're probably using Amazon servers anyway. They're paying Amazon for storage. And when the AI thing happened, Amazon got flooded. So they had to put a limit. You can only upload, I think 4 books a day now on Amazon KDP. Just kind of stop the AI people from, just shooting AI stuff. I'm not sure what Draft to Digital did.
Their checks and balances have been getting progressively better.
Yes. I think Draft to Digital had the same problem. They're getting massive amounts of people putting books up, and the vast majority of them just sit there and take up space on their server. So they want to do a couple of things. They want to put a barrier to keep the AI people from putting stuff up. So that's the $20 barrier. And then they want to kind of like, do you really want to leave your book up here? It's going to be $12 a year. That'll help pay for storage and also, have people evaluate, do they really want to have their book on this platform? So from the business and technical side, I totally understand what they're doing. I don't think this is as big as a deal as the Unity game dev fiasco a couple years ago. I don't know if you know about that.
I remember it faintly, but
yeah, there was an open source. I don't know if it's open source or not, but it is a platform you could for a long time make your game for free using Unity. And they made a change in their fine print when you click I agree. They said anytime someone downloads your game, we're going to charge you X amount of money. So that's not buy, that's download. So if I buy your game, they get a little cut. And when they download the game, they get another little tiny cut. If I delete the game and download it again, they get another cut. So it was a massive, big problem, way bigger than the Draft to Digital thing. But yeah, I see what Draft to Digital is doing, and I also see, yes, if you don't want to pay $20 to make an account and pay $12 a year if you don't make $100 in sales, yeah, I can see why you're going to KDP.
You should be doing one or the other, realistically. If you're Draft to Digital, you should be doing one or the other, not both at the same time. You shouldn't be like, hey, if you're joining now, $20 fee and a $12 fee at the end of the year. You should be doing first of all, it should be either be like some kind of percent. Like, hey, everybody pays.
Hang on. Draft to Digital, they don't give you your money till you make $25?
I think that's true, yeah.
Ooh. that burns.
And that's the other thing.
Ouch.
You should be trying to suck those people from KDP right now. You know people are fed up with Amazon. You know there's tons of people trying to get away from them. Adhere to those people. Get those people. If once you get those people, if you're a smart business person, then maybe you add a fee, maybe $5. You don't just jump the gun and be like, you know what? This is the issue. Screw you all, basically. Because that's kind of what it comes
Well,
across
I
as.
think the issue was it was a guy in a boardroom who said, "Okay, guys, we're paying $12 million a year to hold these ebooks no one's buying. We got to do something." So I totally see their problem. I see their conundrum, is what I'm saying.
I understand it from that perspective, but I think you got to do it better, and I think you got to do it in a way that's not going to drive people away right now, especially right now.
Yeah.
And I think the
I
fact that they
bet they
doubled
had
down on
a
it,
yeah.
the
I
fact that they
bet they
doubled
had a number. They probably said this is going to make this many people leave. Like, is this acceptable? And then math. Yes, I guess. It's like it was probably a crazy weird. I would love to see like the people in charge, talk about what went into that decision. I wonder how long, how many meetings, and how many different angles. That was very interesting.
Me too, but I also want to know how they got to the numbers. Okay, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want AI stuff. I don't want AI stuff either. I'm cool with that. You don't want fake bots. I don't want fake bots either. Makes sense. Why not start at $5? A fake person's still not going to want to spend $5. An AI book probably still not going to want to spend $5. So like, why not start small? Why just jump the gun and be like, because that's what we look at, right? Even a book,
Yeah.
you go shopping, you're like, oh, 18.99, not a big deal. But you see 20.99, and you're like, oh, that's a big deal. And it's really not even a big difference, but that's how marketing minds work. They teach you that in marketing in high school, even. Well, at least in
Mm-hmm.
my high school, it did. Your marketing mind sees 17.99, then you see 18.50, then you see $20, and you're like, wow, that's a big difference, even though it's really not. And
Yeah.
to a lot of us struggling authors, the majority of us are struggling authors. Some of us are well off, some of us are in the middle, most of us are struggling.
Mm-hmm.
To us, you add in ISBNs if you're buying those, which, if for an American, is expensive. You add in editors, worth it, expensive. You add in covers, a good one, expensive.
Yeah.
So you add in all of this stuff, and you add in the time. You have the amount of time we put into our books, the amount of money we make back on those books to pay Drafted Digital, the money that we make on those books sometimes, it's not worth it. And it just doesn't feel good to be like, I made $20, let me give you 12 of that dollars. I made $8 on my book. You can't even buy
Yeah.
a book with $8.